Alright, racing fans, welcome back here to the Copper State 500. We are into the lap 270, I guess you say, or 227, so that'd be 270th mile here. We just got out of the pit crew here with our leader, Ray Bob Walker. Now, I appreciate your guys' feedback here. I did record 3 movies in a row there, so unfortunately I wasn't able to change up some of the things I may have made a mistake in, so I apologize. Of course, these are all the growing pains you can kind of expect if this is the first time playing something like this. So kind of make sure you guys know how to handle this kind of thing. Essentially right now I have everything all set up. Let's get into turn 20, or I guess you'd say the 280th mile here. We gotta roll our dice here as they get out of the crew, or out of the pit stop here. And the leader is Ray Bob Walker. He has led for over 30 miles. So that is a great little feat by Ray Bob Walker here. But the winner for leading the race is definitely Jeff Daly Jr. He has done a fantastic job there leading the way. So let's roll here to get ourselves underway here. So 4, that's going to be over to the middle group here, and that's going to be a 9. So 9 is a reflex. So let's check it out here, guys, as we go for a reflex 9 roll here for us. Okay, so who's got the reflex here? They're going to be trying to make their move. Denny Baker, TV guy here. We're going to see what happens here. So 3. So he does have 3. Let's go over to here to 2. Chris Wine. Now, he does have the reflex trait, and he also will win this one 100% because he's got 2 performance chips there. So, either way, we'll see if he has to use one. So 4. So he is in the top group. That gives him 1 break, 2 for having a burst, 3 for having reflex. So that's less than 4. So he will have to use one of these performance chips to fend off Denny Baker in his move to try to go into the top 8 here. Now Marlon McGarry here is going to try to make a move as well. He's got the reflex trait as well. So 4 here. Let's see. He's got 4, so he passes the medal there on the gas pedal. 6 is going to go over to Gary Pine. And in the 8th spot, he does have the, I think it's 8th spot, right? 7th spot, I apologize. 7th spot there. He does have the reflex trait, but he does not have any brake skills. So he's in the top 10, or he's in the top group. He has a reflex skill, but he doesn't have anything else. So he will have to use his performance chip to fend off Marlon McGarry in the 91 Chevy. Okay, Jordy Pettis here, the Black Widow car here. 1, so he'll automatically pass the gas pedal check. 2 is going to be over to Chris Wine again. Man, he's got the Captain America 15 car, has had a lot of action here, but 6 is going to be an automatic fail, unless, of course, he uses his performance check, and he will. So he's gotten used 2 of his performance chips here to fend off the middle group. Some great action there by Chris Wine. Okay, let's see here. Billy Brett. Okay, he's got 4 here, so he's going to pass the one with the 1. He's going to pass that check there, and then number 3 car is going to be the Joey Plunka 73 car, and 2 is what he has to get, and he will succeed because he has a burst, and he has being in the top group, so that's 2 points, so he will succeed in fending off Billy Brett. Julie Justice is going to be the one that makes the next move here, and that 280th mile here. So 4, he does have 4 for the gas pedal. 5 is who's going to go up against, which will be Jeff Daly Jr. And 6 is an automatic fail for him because he does not have those points to get up to 6. So he will use his performance chip here already. That is pretty quick, but you really want to stay in that top group out of the gates. You definitely, especially during this time period, you never know what might happen. Maybe a crash, maybe a trouble, and you never want to have that happen. So Tom Rossi, who just got out of the bottom group, if I remember correctly, is now trying to make his way all the way up to the top again here. He was actually leading the race once, so that's pretty impressive. But 6 is the red die, and he will not be able to pass that. That's an automatic fail for him. And that is all for this turn here, guys, as it looks like the top group has gotten a little bit of a shake-up there, but nothing too big. By shake-up, I mean everyone's had to use their performance chips, almost all of them, at least once here, because Chris Wine had to use 2. So good to note there. And as we move into the 290th mile here, we're going to see Ray Bob Walker continuing his lead here as we continue forward. So let's check it out here as we move forward here. Let's roll some dice here to get the next one. Okay, 2. So that's going to be over to the top group here. And a 5. That's going to be heat. So let's get the heat of the moment here. Action here, presented by AutoZone. Just kidding, guys. It's not presented by anybody. But, all right, so we have the top group here. So 5. So that's going to be the heat. So not him, not him. Well, it looks like only Chris Wine has the heat track, so let's see what he's going to go up against with Ray Bob Walker here. Okay, so it will be an automatic pass there for Ray Bob Walker. There's no need to even look here. The reason why, well, it's an automatic fail for Chris Wine though, but he has a 1 blue, and he would have easily passed through that. So, nonetheless, looks like Chris Wine in that turn here tried to make a move on Ray Bob Walker, but unfortunately for Chris Wine, he could not pass by, and that's another 10 miles down the route there, guys, as we're making it through the middle of the pack here, the middle third of the race at the Copper State 500. Okay, so 6. So 6, that's going to be a duel. So that's pretty cool here, guys. So a duel will be instigated by one of these guys here. So let's check it out here. Who's going to be instigating that roll here? So that's 4. And 4 means the number 4 car in the top group. He's going to actually, if he wants to, he can try to take over the top driver there, or the leader at this point, which would be Ray Bob Walker. Now, the reason why it's kind of interesting is because of the fact that there is a dual result. Duels are considered a little bit riskier than challenges, and just because someone's always going to have potential for trouble. So it is kind of a sketchy situation, because if you look at it here, the number 4 car here, which would be Austin Bigler, who has the power definitely to roll a great die, and he will try, but he's already in the top. He's already 5th, so if he makes a mistake, then he can't come back from it. So, but we're gonna try, absolutely, and so we're gonna actually go for the duel here, as Austin Bigler is gonna try here and gonna go up against Ray Bob Walker. All right, so he will actually try for the number 1 spot with Ray Bob Walker here. So he's actually going to roll a red die here against his gas pedal check here. So anything but a 6 will pass it. So let's see. That's a 6. Oh no. So if you guys notice that if he rolls a 6, he actually lost it. So he loses it and he is in trouble. So basically at this point we're going to roll on the his escape. So his escape is a 9. We're going to have to roll these silver dice and see if by chance he gets out of any damage or trouble, I guess you'd say. So let's see. So he rolls a 4, so he's good. So he's made the attempt, but he has escaped successfully and does not have any problems there. So that's always good there. No problem on his end there, but absolutely something for sure could have been a problem there for sure. So let's keep going here, guys, as that has ended the turn there for the 300th minute there, or 300th mile there. And there was a little bit of a shake up there trying to get to the top spot, but Ray Bob Walker was able to fend off Austin Bigler, and he was able to make sure that he wasn't in trouble as well. So good to note there. 5 is going to be over to the bottom group, so a nice big bottom group shake up here is going to happen, and it's going to be a 5 as well. So heat, so a lot of heated action is going to be happening here, guys, a lot of maneuvers. So let's get right to it. Okay, so let's see here. So starting with the bottom, who has heat? Heat's going to be Joey Wilson. All right, so let's roll the dice and see what happens here. Okay, Joey Wilson here. 5, so that's too much. He doesn't have a gas pedal check for that. All right, Francisco Segovia. He actually was starting off, I believe, if I'm not correctly right. He started off 22nd. In the race, and he's kind of fallen back down further, but a 1 will absolutely go for it, so he has a 3 there, so he's going to try to race up against 3, which will be odd to Jason Leonard, who has, or trying to get a 2, so burst, and that's it. He has nothing else. So it looks like Jason Leonard will actually fall out of the middle group there, and Francisco will move all the way up to the 13th place there and keep on going there. Kevin Pettis with Francisco Segovia absolutely trying his hardest to get back into the top group as he was before, so great on him there in the 56 Ford. All right, Randy Kendrick in the lime green car here. Okay, so it looks like Randy Kendrick, 3, he'll pass that gas pedal check. 4 will be over here, and odd will be over to Jordy Pettis in the Black Widow car. 5, so he has 2 bursts, and that's it. So no, he will actually fall back into the bottom group there. That's not good here, because let's see where Jordy Pettis started the race. I think he actually started pretty far back, if I'm correctly. Yeah, he started to the 15th, so he's actually moved further back than he started there, so definitely not good for his team there. But nonetheless, he's always got maneuvers to go here as we have 200 miles left. Cam Croyle, here we go. 4, that passes. 2 is going to be over to Julie Justice here. So Julie Justice, right? No, it's going to be over to Tom Rossi. There we go. Tom Rossi and 5, and he will not be able to pass that with 2 stars bursts right there. So that's 2 for brakes, but not going to happen. So Cam Croyle in the Key Lime 68 Chevy car is going to be up there in that place there. Okay, looking for more heat cars here. Kurt Bryson, nope. Not a lot of heat cars in this bottom group, but Mooch Thomas driving that Dietrich's Coffee. Okay, so wow, 666s, holy crap. Okay, well, he will fail that one. Honestly, that would have been insane here. Mike Dawson in the home improvement car does not have a heat. Chuck Tufaro does not have heat as well, nor does Greg Greco. Nope, Monica Merrick, staying safe, not doing anything. All right, Marty Moen, number 8 Ford. 5. He has a 4 gas pedal, so he's going to fail that check there, so he will not get that one there. Brooks Bilovich, 95 Toyota. 4. He has a 4 on his gas pedal, so we're going to go to the 4 and even, so that'll be Trevor Trostel, and a 5. And he will not be able to take that on because he has a burst brake. That's 1, so he won't actually make that check there. So our TV guy here, Brooks Bilovich, will move right in here, so good for him there. Sonny Swain, nope. Parnell the Pepper, nope. And Mark Forth will not. So that was actually pretty quick there. So heat, I'm not sure what heat is. I wish I knew what that category was for. But definitely shook up a little bit of the guys here. As you guys can see, a couple of guys have jumped in here underneath Brooks Bilovich, Randy Kendrick, and Cam Croyle. But yeah, let's keep on going here, guys. Down to the next turn. 4, that'll be middle group, and 5. So we're gonna do another heat check here, guys. Wow, that is pretty intense, actually, guys. So let's see here. So heat check in the middle group here. So some of those guys who moved up in the previous one will actually be moving up for sure almost in this next one. So Dick Exum, Carey, nope. All right, so Randy Kendrick here moved up in the last 10-mile stretch there. So 3, he will attempt. That'll be against Chris Wine, who will pass because it's a 1 blue, and he has a boost from being in the top group, so he will pass that one. Brooks Bilovich, let's see if he's going to pass here. With a 2, he will pass, but again, folks, if you look right here, 1 blue means that number 6 car, which will be Gary Pine in the 7th position, will pass that, no problem. Francisco Segovia is going to try again here. Did I make a mistake again, guys? Did I? I think that means he can go twice. Dang it. I apologize there, guys. I forgot that the extra star there, if he has a bonus, means that he can actually do it twice. He can actually go moving up twice on that one there. So, dang it. Means he can go 2 chances to challenge on the same turn. So, yeah. You can challenge the next group. So he should have been able to go up into the next group. I could always try and do that. Right now, I can make that up because it wouldn't have changed anything, I guess you could say. But I'm going to say, yeah, let's try that. So I rolled this for him. So 1 here. So because I remember, I'm just going to kind of reiterate, he moved up in the last turn. And Francisco, he has a double star for heat, so he would have another chance to move up into the top group. So effectively, I'm not going to do that. I made a mistake. We'll say that he failed going to the top group, and we'll just play it like he's fresh, new, and this is when his turn comes up. So 1 means he passes no matter what here. So 3, it's going to be over to Joey Plunka, who has a 2. So he has a burst, and then he's in the top group, so he passes that no problem. So Francisco's going to roll again here, guys, for that second one because he has the star. Oh, jeez. Okay, 6. That means he's going to fail. So Francisco's going to stick into that, the 13th position there, so 13th spot there. And Billy Brett doesn't have it. Julie Justice. Cam Croyle has it here, so let's check it out here. 4. And that's a 4. He has a 4 on that gas pedal. 5 is over here to Jeff Daly Jr. And 3 is what we're looking for. So he has brake bonus. He has a bonus already for the star there, but he doesn't have anything else. So it looks like Cam Croyle here, guys, has now moved up into the top position there, the top group in 6th place. And Jeff Daly Jr., unprecedented, guys. The TV camera, the crowd is in awe after the 10-mile stretch there, sees Jeff Daly Jr., one of the race leaders with the most points or time in the race lead, is actually now possibly not going to finish in the top 8. That is impressive here, guys. But let's check it out as we move into the next mile stretch here. All right. Let's roll 1. So that'll be the top group here, guys. And 10. So 10 will be the TV. So it looks like we're going to be looking at the TV guys here in the top group. And that'll be Austin and Bigler. So Austin Bigler will be the only one that actually goes here in the, I think it's the 340th mile here. 340th mile. Let's roll here. So 4, well, it's an automatic fail for him. The reason why I say that is because it's 1 blue. So no matter what would happen, he would fail that. So, but it is important to go ahead with this one because if he passes, so I'll show you why it matters. 4, he passes, right? And because he's in the top group, he's going to be challenging no matter what, Ray Bob Walker. Now, because he has a performance chip and he does too, that's where it's important because the game has it so that you have to roll to see whether or not both drivers use or keep their performance chips. So they use them, they don't use them. Let's roll here. And so they don't use them. Okay, so Austin Bigler stays out of it. Ray Bob Walker sees that and stays out of it as well. Doesn't use the performance chip. And so that ends that turn there, guys. As we continue forward here in the race, as it's starting to kind of settle down here, we're actually starting to see a lot of racers kind of picking their spots, picking their moves. As you guys can probably already tell, not a lot of movement around in the top group, especially since Ray Bob Walker now has been leading for solid, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, what was it, 90 miles here during the race, and at least at this point 60 miles for the last couple of whiles. So he's been definitely listening to his crew chief back in the in his earpiece here. So we got 30 more miles till the or 20 more miles till the pit stop here. So let's check it out until we get to that pit stop here. 6. Okay, so that's a duel here, guys. That's gonna be a 6 on the duel instigator, which will be the number 6 car in the top group. So the number 6 car in the top group is going to be Gary Pine. And I'm wondering whether or not Gary Pine would want to go up against Ray Bob Walker. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact, I'm trying to look here. So a driver can use a performance chip to fend off a challenge or a duel. So because of that, Gary Pine doesn't have a performance chip. So he'd be going up against somebody who has 2 performance chips, essentially, to try to take him down. So if that makes sense, that basically if he goes up against him, basically it would fend off the challenge. Now, I don't think it would actually make the other person lose, if that makes sense. But he can avoid a change. So, like, for instance, if it makes sense here, so like Gary Pine, if he goes against Ray Bob Walker and succeeds in it, Ray Bob Walker can use a performance chip to fend off that duel, right? That makes sense? Not that the Gary Pine will lose the duel and then he has to escape, but the fact that Ray Bob Walker wouldn't have to do that. So I think Gary Pine's going to make a move for it. You only have, we're in the home stretch, guys. We absolutely are, and definitely want to make a move now with only 150 miles left. And each mile, or each lap here, guys, is 2.55 miles, so 2.5 miles. So if you think about it, you don't have very many turns left to kind of make a chance, and this could be Gary Pine's first maneuver. So let's try it out here, guys. He needs to roll 4 or less. Let's stay on the gas pedal. That's a 3, so he has succeeded. So he has succeeded, so that will make Ray Bob Walker either escape or do a chip here, and so he fends off the chip here. And he will stay in the lead, but that will break down one of his performance chips that he has there. So at least in that sense, Gary Pine has made a move to try to see action go on there. And I don't think, in my mind, that Gary Pine should have to use like a roll of dice or anything like that for escaping, because of the fact that honestly it doesn't make any sense. You know, it's not, it shouldn't be something that, you know, oh, he wins. It doesn't matter. You guys don't care. So let's move on to the next turn here, guys, as we roll again here. A 6 again. Oh my goodness, guys. All right, so 6 again, and that'll be a number 5. So 5 will be the number 5 car in the top spot there. So that will be, let's see here. All right, so let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I get this right real quick here. So the 5 spot will be Cam Croyle. So he will try again here, guys. These guys are young bucks here, guys. Cam Croyle in a 68 Chevy car here. Looks like what his says here on the sheet says, tough decision to leave the 61 car, but it might pay off with more points in 2016 driving with the 68. And the reason why is he's going to try to make some move here with this new car that he has, Cam does. So the key lime car here, 3, that will pass, and he will have to make Ray Bob Walker use his last performance chip to fend off that duel. And so as of right now, Ray Bob Walker absolutely has been showing off why he is the leader in this pack here for 110 miles total, because he's got those chips, man. He's done really well. But at this point, guys, we're going to move into the pit row and check out and see what maneuvers are going to happen as we go into the pit turn. Now remember, guys, we're going to actually roll the black die and the metallic dice together to define the pit turn. So there's 4 parts, basically, in the pit turn row. So we're going to roll that now here. So let's see here. Let's see, roll the black die and metallic dice together. Okay. I'm not really sure why you roll the black die together. I'm reading the rule real quick here. Because if you're just rolling, the metallic dice determines the pit reordering and tells you which drivers do, and then it never mentions what the black die actually does. You know what I mean? Like, it never actually says, oh, no, it does. It does. It determines which group is to go to the fast pit. So it does do that. So here we go. Let's roll some here. 5. Okay, so there's 4. And then there's 5. Okay, so we have, so 4, doubles here, I apologize. So doubles, in this sense, guys, if you roll 2 and 2, what that means is that there's actually a pit violation. And so basically in that box, there's going to be a pit violation for that here. So let's check out and see who's going to be doing the pit violation here. Now, because we rolled a 5 means it's actually both groups. So both groups and the leader will actually be determining the fast pit. So fast pit essentially is, of course, the next one. We're going to actually swap, we're going to do all of the rolls here to see who's eligible for a fast pit and then get a performance chip. So everyone's going to essentially have it besides the bottom group. But because we roll a 4, the 4 is what's going to actually tell us who had a pit violation and is moving down. Now, because the rule says a 4, right, that driver is going to move down to the bottom of the or end of the bottom group. So if that makes sense to you guys, if we're using both of the both areas, that means that all 3 of these cars are going to be moving down. So I think that's how the rule plays, because it says use the fast pit die or that area from that area, who's going to be moving down. So that's everybody essentially. So Austin in the number 4 one here will be moving down here. As you see, we have to put him on top, and then also Randy Kendrick and Brooks Bilovich will be moving down because they're in the 4 spot of the middle group there. And I don't think we fill in the gap. Do we fill in the gap? We have to, really. It only makes sense, right? I'm trying to see here if we fill in the gap here. Yeah, so I'm assuming we have to fill in the gap here because we move to the bottom of the group here. So we're probably going to have to fill in the gap here. So moving all these guys up. Cool. All right, so now that we're here, we have to check. So the guy on the bottom here has to roll his die against his gas pedal to see if the first guy who's going to fill in the 7th spot here. So 1, so Pete McAtee does pass, and he will move up. So good for him, huh? Good for him. Okay, so we're moving everybody up here. Marlon McGarry. All right. This is a big pit turn. My goodness, did you guys just see that? There was a 3 move from a pit violation. They are actually moving down. That means they're out of the race, essentially, because without basically any more, well, there is one more pit stop. There's really no more spots there for them to kind of move in. So we're going to move the guys here for filling in the gap here. We're going to move the bottom group in here. Let me make sure I have the right area here for our filling in the gap on this end here. Let's see here. Do not exist in there. All right, so yeah, we do have to. I was just trying to make sure we had to use the gas pedal as well. So we're using the gas pedal for this one as well. So let's look here. So the bottom guy here is actually the first one up. So with Mark 4th, we have to fill in 3 spots here. So he has a 4 gas pedal. So he doesn't. So he's not going to fill a spot there. So let's go to Parnell Drake. 1, he will fill the spot in the 17th position. Sonny Swain. 4, he has 4, so he will fill that spot in the 18th position. And Trevor Trostel, the love bug there. 3, he will fill that spot there. So Mark Forth could not take over that spot, and he will still stay in the bottom group. Now with that over here, guys, we're actually going to do the performance chips here for the fast pits, and we'll see who gets the performance chips for the next roundabout. Performance chips. Okay, so let's go through. So we're going to go all the way through, all the way to the top here, guys. So remember, they have to have a 10 or less or whatever it is. So let's see. So that's a 9. So Trevor Trostel gets 1 here. Sonny Swain has a 4 fast pits, so we're going to see if he gets less than a 4. Nope, he has a 10, so he's not going to get it. Parnell Pepper Drake there. He has a 6, and he rolled an 8, so no. Dick Exum here. That's a 4. He has a fast pit of 3, so no. And 5 for Terry Casiola, or whatever it is. He has a 4, so he's not going to get it. Denny Baker has a 3, and he rolled a 9, so nope. Marlon McGarry has a 6, and he rolled a 7, so none of these guys are getting fast pits here, guys. Francisco Segovia has a fast pit of 6, and he rolled a 6, so he gets 1, so good on him for that. Billy Brett has a fast pit of 6, and he rolled a 10, no. Julie Justice, let's roll again here, guys, has a fast pit of 9, and he rolled a 6, so he gets 1. Okay, and Jeff Daly Jr., a 10, and he rolled a 10, so he gets 1. Might see himself trying to move up again here. 5 for Scott Steckel, and he has a fast pit of 3, so nope. Back up to here. Pete McAtee has a 9, and he has a 7, so he rolls a 7, so he gets 2 there, or he has 2 total. And then Gary Pine has a fast pit of 5. He rolls a 9, so he won't get 1. Cam Croyle, fast pit of 9, and he rolls a 6, so he will get 1. Then you're going to see Joey Plunka with a fast pit of 8, and he rolled a 10, so he will not get 1 there. Chris Wine, Captain America 15 car, has a fast pit of 8. He rolled a 7, so he will get 1. Stu Urich, fast pit of 8. He rolls an 11 there, so he will not get 1. Even though he already has 2 there, doesn't need more probably. And Ray Bob Walker, he has a 6, and his fast pit hit is a 10, so he will receive 1 as well. So that's almost going to be fending him off basically there. So really great there as we skill off that last part there. And I believe at this point, we're going to move everyone up here, essentially in regards to where they are on the race, so the higher positions. So both top and middle groups get this kind of treatment here. And then on the last, it's going to be the fast pit dice roll here. So let's roll all these guys into the right spots here according to their performance chips. Okay, so it looks like the only one, or I guess actually it'll be 2 people that have to move here. And the reason why is you're going to move Pete McAtee, who has 2 performance chips, right, over to where Chris Wine is, because he's the only one that does not have a 2. He's the highest that has 1, okay? And then Gary Pine, or Chris Wine's going to switch with Gary Pine there, as he is the highest that doesn't have a performance chip there, and Chris Wine will take that spot. So you see that's how the top group goes there. Okay, so now the bottom group here. So we have Scott Steckel there. So Jeff Daly Jr. there is going to move into 8th spot. Julie Justice will move into the 9th spot and keep moving down Scott until we get to Francisco Segovia, who will then move on Scott Steckel down to the 12th spot. And Francisco will enter the top 10. And all the way down here after the pit row here, it looks like Trevor's going to move out and go all the way up to the 11th spot, switching with Billy Barrett there as he gets out of the pit very quickly there, guys. So real big shakeup here, guys, right at the end of the video here. But one last thing here, guys, we're actually going to see whether or not there's a fast pit rewarded here for one of the top dice guys here. So we're going to the black die to determine which driver gets the chance to challenge the leader, and then we will see whether or not his gas pedal rating can pass by Ray Bob Walker here. So a 6, that'll be him, Gary Pine, and a 3. So I don't think performance chip, is this a challenge? I don't think this is, because it's not, is this a challenge? No, because this is like a fast pit. This is like a turn, right? Let me see here. I'm just reading. Gets to challenge the race leader. So yes, it is technically a challenge because the rules state challenge in the words. So he can use, a driver can use a performance chip to fend off a challenge or duel. So Gary Pine has successfully done it again, guys. Has moved ahead, but unfortunately, for Gary Pine, Ray Bob Walker will use his last performance chip of that move there to fend off Gary Pine again. Looks like Gary Pine is trying to make some maneuvers here, and good for him there. And we will see that being the end of this pit series here, guys, as they are getting back on the race here, and there's only one more pit stop before the end of this video, or end of this Copper State 500. I hope you guys enjoyed here, guys. If you have any other questions, absolutely leave your comments in the below here. I've absolutely loved reading all of your guys' comments and feedback. I try to make sure I understand the rules as we go by, because they do have long-term consequences when you make a mistake here. But I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the movement here, because this was a great movement here during this video here. You'll see Chris Wines up there in the Captain America 15. Gary Pine might be a race underdog at this point, and Cam Croyle is definitely sitting up there. Possibilities with Jeff Daly Jr. sitting down in the middle group, not knowing what he's going to be doing there. And we'll see if Francisco Segovia can actually move into the top group and capture a top 8 spot here. Alright guys, well, thank you very much here. Drop a like in the comment below. I'll see you guys next time, again with the Copper State 500.